afternoon.
You've been on training camps, look at your defense. What do you like best about your starting 11 on defense heading into the season?
I mean, I like that they play hard and they talk to each other. Communication's better. We got to execute and still some things to learn, but I like where they're headed.
Baker's coming off his career high last year, touchdown passes, yards, completion percentage. Where can you see his game elevating this year? What are your expectations?
Expectations are to get wins, whether it's running the ball or throwing the ball. If he can take care of the football and understand the offense and get it where it needs to be, those are my expectations. The stats will come with it.
Is this a game, Todd, elusive quarterback, hot weather, 425, where there's kind of an accent on rotation, especially up front, guys chasing Daniels?
Well, we do that a lot anyway on D-line, so, we're used to the heat. You're in Florida, you're going to play in the heat right there, but he's a very athletic quarterback, so it's going to be tough to chase him down with just D-linemen.
I know you haven't been here for the entire duration of Mike Evans' career, and few people have, but just what's it say about his ability to adjust his game, evolve with every single quarterback, with every single coordinator, coach, system that he's played in, to where he just continues to consistently get 1,000 yards every year?
Well, he's smart, number one. He's durable. He takes care of his body. He's the ultimate pro. He comes back in shape all the time. He do what's necessary for him to get ready to play ball games, and he goes out and plays.
In his later years of his career, the last few years, where have you seen his game kind of evolve?
Just mentally, I think different systems put you in different positions. I think he's been moved around a little more the latter part of his career, but he understands the game. He's just a good football player.
We saw Logan Hall wasn't practicing today. Just wanted to get how concerned you are about Sunday for him and who might take on a larger role if he can't go.
Well, he's got a foot, so it'll go up until the weekend, and we'll see how he feels. And we got a plethora of guys that's going to platoon in that rotation right there.
Do you have a general idea how the running backs, Liam, will use them? Rashad obviously had 330-something touches last year. You've got a little bit of depth there now, Sean and Bucky. So how ideally would you see that kind of breaking down?
I think it'll be a game-by-game basis. You normally go with the hot hand, but since nobody has played yet, obviously Rashad starts, and then we'll kind of go from there and see how the other guys are used.
What's the most impressive thing about Irving in your eyes, Todd? What did you learn about during the summer?
He's in early. He's probably the first player in after me. When I go to the training room and work out in the morning, I see him in there, and he's to be that young, to be in that early day in and day out, and not have many mental errors is impressive.
What time are we talking?
5-something, almost 6 maybe for him.
The Commanders have a really young secondary back there. When you look at it, what have you seen from them, and how can maybe kind of take advantage, obviously, with veterans like Chris and Mike, kind of take advantage of some of the matchups that you can maybe exploit?
It was a different system. I don't know if we can exploit them. They have long corners. They're very good with their hands. They can move their feet, and they can play the ball deep. Obviously, you can't throw it over their heads very much because of their height and their length, so it's going to be a challenge for us. Obviously, it's a different system that they were in, and we just got to be ready for anything.
And how difficult is that kind of, obviously, there's so much new in Washington, right? So it's not like you can look back and say, okay, well, they did this there, they did this there. Obviously, they play a lot of their starters. So do you watch more of like individual players and the new players that are coming in? Is it more of kind of going back and what maybe they did in Dallas or maybe did Clifton in Arizona? When you're breaking down a team that is brand new like this, how do you kind of put your game plan together?
Well, you watch a little bit of everything, With 2 weeks before the season opener, you probably overthink the week before. Then the week of, you kind of get back to basics and go with what you know and make sure our own team has their rules down and play what they see and not just play off of plays and formations and everything else and play ball from there. It's the first game, whether it was Washington or anybody else, it's the unknown.
Graham Barton hasn't played a full NFL game yet, obviously, but from what we've seen in the preseason in Washington having some good defensive tackles, just what advantage is it to have sort of an athletic, big, elite type center in this league? You've gone against them before, and they seem to be few and far between.
He's athletic and he's tough. He's facing 2 great players on Sunday, but He's tough. He played like that in college. I think he'll be fine. Our big thing is getting used to playing 60-something plays, and then with the consistency that we want to play, and that's what I've been harping on all week. So it'll be a big game for him, but he'll face a great nose or a great tackle probably every week.
Todd, when you look at Dan Quinn, you've gone up against him when he was a head coach before, he's been a defensive coordinator. What is the trademark or the calling card of the Dan Quinn team?
Very smart, very disciplined, very tough. They get after you. Very well coached. I mean, Dan's a hell of a coach.
Along with Barton, Tyke, and Jalen, they'll both be making their first starts as rookies. What are you looking forward to see out of those guys this weekend?
Well, depending on the personnel group, I don't know if Tyke's starting, but, you know, we have enough confidence in them that those guys will go out there and play the right way and play smart, and the game won't be too big for them.
You're pretty stoic. Don't show a lot of your emotions. What's the season opener like for you when you walk out of that tunnel?
It's exciting!
You are now on video.
You're mean now.
You always have the butterflies.
There.
You always have the butterflies when you go out there. I mean, it's opening day in the NFL. No different than when you were a player.
God, that was epic.
There goes NFL total.
It was sitting there.
It was kind of a layup, right?
Okay.
Any kind of like nostalgia feel when obviously you're not playing in Washington, but you played for Washington, so when they come to town, no one's there, but still, does any like nostalgia kind of bring that back? Like, I played for this team, like.
I mean, it's the place that gave me my start. I can't ever forget playing for Washington. A lot of great teammates, a lot of great games I played in, played against a lot of great players. So without going to Washington, I wouldn't be standing here. Without Coach Gibbs giving me a chance, I wouldn't be standing here.
Well, and Tyreek Thunderberg, he had made a comment that, hey, you know, like as an undrafted free agent, you know, he really looks up to someone like you that really had to earn your opportunity in the NFL and didn't have the easy way of doing it. So it's kind of cool guys on your own roster drawing inspiration from your career.
Yeah, but I was a lot better than Tyreek. So.
You had the better ball skills because he was showing out during camp.
I have better ball skills than Tyreek. He hasn't got one pick in this league yet. I'm way ahead of him right now. Talk to me in about 10 years.
You know, some pictures of you, you know, from your playing days were circulating on the social media
Oh,
sphere
gosh.
earlier this week.
I would not know that.
Todd, is McLaurin a little bit overlooked, not by you, of course, but nationally in terms of being one of the elite receivers in this league? Maybe if he had started his career somewhere else with other quarterbacks. But Daniels has the arm to get him the ball, so how dangerous is he?
He's elite. I mean, he's always been elite for me. And watching him, just watching him play, the way he gets off the ball, the way he gets in and out of routes, the way his catch radius is, and the way he fights for the ball, he's an outstanding receiver. I don't think he's overlooked by a lot of people that's in the league at all.
This quarterback class has a chance to be maybe one of the better ones in years. 3 are going to start an opening weekend. Are these guys more prepared coming out of college than maybe they were 5, 10 years ago?
I can't answer that question. Only time can answer that question, and I'm only concerned about one right now.
When you see Washington bringing in a guy like Bobby Wagner, who's still very productive at age 34, what does he bring to their defense and the guys around him?
Well, besides his playmaking ability, he's extremely intelligent. There's probably not an offensive play he hadn't seen or he hadn't dissected, and he can really breathe confidence into a defense because of his communication and the way he plays.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.